just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark. Even got that homebrew flowing.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. In this bulletin, another Fiji First Member of Parliament resigns. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama warns against shoddy contractors as he opens new $13.9 million Raki Raki Bridge. And Fiji Ports Corporation pays over $3 million dividend to government. Sitting Fiji First MP Sanjit Patel has resigned from Parliament, notifying the Speaker of the House, Dr. Chico Luveni, this afternoon. In a statement released by government chambers, Patel says given the demands of his business, he is unable to do justice to his role as a serving Member of Parliament. Repeated calls to Patel remain unanswered. Patel was a sitting member of the Public Accounts Committee and recently led a Fiji African Caribbean Pacific delegation to Brussels. This is the third resignation for the Fiji First Party. Following this resignation, the next candidate in line to take up the position is Mohammed Dean, who won 589 votes in last year's general election. A substantive Minister for Employment, Productivity and Industrial Relations portfolio is expected to be announced soon. FBC News understands that the position will be filled by a sitting MP who does not have a portfolio. This gives government 9 MPs to choose from. The ministerial position was held by Chiochi Konrote, who resigned last week prior to his formal nomination and subsequent appointment as the president-elect. Meanwhile, the next candidate to take up the parliamentary seat left empty by Konrote is Matai Akola. Akola told FBC News he has not received any communication yet from the Electoral Commission. The Fiji Ports Corporation Limited has paid a total dividend of over $3.7 million for the 2014 financial year to government this afternoon. This is 56% of company profits and represents a 1% increase from 2013. FPCL Chairman Tevita Kuruvakandua says the Fiji Ports Group recorded a profit of $7.4 million compared to the previous year of over $13.7 million. He says the 2013 results include a one-off gain from disposal of equity in Fiji Ports Terminal Limited under the private-public partnership agreements.
This performance comes at the back of a significant event in 2013 where public-private partnership was entered into, where the Fiji Ports Terminal Limited had investors investing into it through Aitken Spence to the tune of 51%. After that, the company has managed to perform well.
FPCL performed consistently in 2014, and despite the exclusion of FPTL from consolidated group accounts due to loss of subsidiary status, the group management still maintained profitability levels and even grew it by 1%. The investigating officer who conducted the caution interview of 16 Nandrunga men and women charged with sedition and communal antagonism testified at the voir dire hearing in the Lautoka High Court today. The voir dire hearing is on the grounds of the rights of the accused to remain silent that was allegedly violated during the interview. Madhyum Bolaitamana has more on the story.
Prosecution witness Detective Corporal Inoke Tui of the Criminal Investigation Department in Suva said he was the interviewing officer from the 16th to the 19th of December 2014 when the 5 accused were brought to the Singatoka police station. The 5 are Ratu Inoke Tasere, Seru Kunalangi, Peniasi Nangau, Alibereti Nakunibou, and Alibereti Ngonewai. Tui told the court before the caution interview he had informed the accused they have the right not to answer any questions, and if they wanted to answer, their answer could be used against them in court. Tui also said he informed the accused of their right to legal representation, including the availability of legal aid. He also gave them the option for a church minister, family member or next of kin to witness the interview. In cross-examining the witness, defense lawyer Aman Ravindra Singh asked Tui if he was aware of sections 13.1b, 13.1a and 13.1d of the Constitution. Tui said he was aware. Singh asked if he had informed his clients of their rights to remain silent when he conducted the interview as stipulated in the Constitution. He was referring to the actual use of the word silent in advising them of their rights. Detective Tui said he did not use the actual word. The Voda hearing continues in the Lautoka High Court tomorrow. Madium Bolitamana, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, 2 new classroom blocks for students of Koronivia Nausori.
With one heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Bulablaka. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics, right here on Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama has warned shoddy contractors they are not welcome by his government. Speaking at the opening of the new $13.9 million Raki Raki Bridge this morning, Bainimarama says government intends to take a very tough line with contractors who cut corners and not deliver a quality result. Ali Kimbia was in Raki Raki and files this report.
Not mincing his words, Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama says he has put all of government's contractors on notice that they need to do better. Bainimarama admitted that it's no secret that while we have all seen a massive improvement in a national infrastructure, some of the new work has not been entirely up to scratch.
When Fijian taxpayers plow hundreds of millions of dollars into upgrading the nation's roads and bridges, they are entitled to get the best possible result. The nature of civil engineering project means there will always be an element of risk, of substance or something peculiar to the particular terrain that couldn't have been predicted. But we will not tolerate shoddy workmanship on our roads and bridges. Just as we will not tolerate shoddy workmanship on any capital project we undertake to improve the lives of the Fijian people.
Bainimarama says infrastructure that are built must be of the highest standards, are safe and with proper maintenance, should give Fijians many decades of service. Sadly, however, he says this is not the case with his office in Suva, which is well past its use by date and yet stands next to the magnificent old government buildings.
Our own office in Suva is the perfect example of where we have gone wrong in the past. There is nothing new about the so-called new wing of government buildings. It isn't just one of the ugliest structures in Suva. It is also badly designed, and the quality of workmanship is so poor that it really needs to be demolished and replaced after less than 50 years of service.
Bainimarama says the new Raki Raki Bridge, built to last a century of service, will transform not only the lives of people of Raki Raki, but also the local economy by reducing travel time on the King's Road and improving the flow of trade.
How will Raki Raki look in 2215? Of course, we have no way of knowing. But we can be sure that it will be bigger and even more vibrant, if only because of the energy and sense of purpose it already has today. And if the engineers have done their job properly, this bridge will still be here in 2215, benefiting our great-great-grandchildren and all other Fijians who will come to live here over the next century as the region fulfills the potential we all know it has.
Now the people of Raki Raki have a bridge worthy of their bustling town and vibrant region. a piece of infrastructure built to endure for 100 years. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Members of the Employment Relations Advisory Board met again today following on from yesterday's first meeting of the reconstituted board. ERAB members are deliberating over a draft response to a formal ILO complaint that there were breaches of the tripartite agreement, particularly the freedom of association and the right to protection. They have until the end of this week to reach agreement before a delegation meets with the ILO's governing body. Talks are still underway for a possible visit by New Zealand Prime Minister John Key to Fiji. The two met during the United Nations General Assembly last month and spoke about the visit among other bilateral topics. Speaking to New Zealand-based Radio Tarana, Key said he'll most likely visit Fiji this year or early next year. Key says he has also invited Bainimarama for a visit to New Zealand.
Look, I mean, the main thing there is, there's a long-standing history between Fiji and New Zealand. Our country's very friendly. There's a lot of Fijians in New Zealand. We don't want to have the history sort of regurgitated all the time. I think sometimes it's just better to say, look, there's water under the bridge.
Key says the main priority now is for Fiji and New Zealand to work effectively together again. The Ministry of Industry, Trade and Tourism has donated $15,000 to the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation for the upcoming Women's Expo. Trade Minister Fayaz Koya says the expo will empower women entrepreneurs to get connected to new markets. Over 500 women are expected to showcase their handiwork at the expo, which will start tomorrow. Koya says the donation should bear some costs of running one of the biggest events for women in the country.
It's an initiative that empowers women entrepreneurs to get connected to the markets. And in support of the expo, the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Tourism is providing $15,000 towards the expo. This will assist the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation in meeting the necessary costs of the actual expo.
Minister Rosie Akbar says the donation will be used solely for the Expo Excellence Awards to recognize the hard work, perseverance and business skills of women entrepreneurs. With the theme connecting women to markets, Make It Happen, the expo will be officially opened by the Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama at 10 a.m. One of the challenges Fiji faces today is the lack of representation of women in government boards and committees. The issue was raised by Trade Minister Fayaz Koya while addressing close to 100 women at the Women in Business Annual General Meeting in Suva last night. Akusita Tale reports.
Women in businesses have been encouraged to make use of opportunities provided by government, with many doors open to women now compared to the past. Minister for Trade Fayaz Koya says less than 50% of applicants for government advertised for posts are women, and this should not be the case.
Women in executive positions who can contribute to the boards and communities are reluctant to apply. I'll give you facts and figures firsthand. Illustratively, in January this year, we had advertised for interested persons to apply to be on government boards, and unfortunately, less than 50% of the applicants were women.
Koya says women's leadership add a valuable contribution to our economic growth and sustainable development, and government recognizes this. He also told the AGM that with Fiji's first ever president-elect being a non-Itoke with no chiefly links, it should pave the way for a future woman president.
It is just pave the way for maybe a woman to be president next time. And I'm hoping it is. Amongst all of you, I'm sure you're all going to shake your head and say, well, maybe we will. And, he has 2 terms. Maybe one of these days we get a woman president.
Koya says the Fijian government wants to ensure that women are given the necessary support to excel in what they do. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Improving infrastructure in schools is part of the Education Ministry's reform agenda. In an effort to provide quality education for students, today students of Nakai Kongo Sanatan Dharam School at Koronivia Nausori witnessed the opening of 2 new classroom blocks worth more than $60,000. Savara Tamboa has more.
Nakai Kongo Sanatan Dharam School was established in 1895 and is one of the oldest schools in Nausori area. Minister for Education Mahendra Reddy says in the coming 4 years, government plans to invest more on infrastructure for students.
Gentlemen, on behalf of our Prime Minister and our government, I want to assure you that over the next 4 years, We will continuously invest on infrastructure for all ECE primary and secondary schools throughout Fiji to ensure that, one, we remove the burden on the poor communities, and secondly, to ensure that the children in urban and interior island have the same quality of infrastructure.
Construction of the 2 new classroom blocks started last year and was completed in April. The nearby communities, faith-based organizations and the school management were acknowledged of the work done. Parents and guardians were also on site to witness the event.
We are glad with what we have been provided.
Nakai Congo Sanatan Dharam School has a school roll of 452 students with 16 teachers. Sabai Ratambua, FBC News.
We turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thanks, Jackie, and good evening. Coming up, Coach Ben Ryan is keeping the Fiji 7 squad busy in the off-season. And Vijay Singh is out to win the 2015 Fiji International. We'll have these stories and more after the break.
छू छू 40 में 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची इट्स हॉट।
First up in sports tonight, Fiji has dropped 1 place in the latest World Rugby rankings, moving from 10th to 11th. At the completion of the last round of World Cup pool games, Japan overtook the Vodafone Flying Fijians from 11th place. Ireland has leaped 2 places from 5th to 3rd spot. New Zealand remains in the top position, followed by Australia. Meanwhile, monetary support continues to flow in for the Flying Fijians despite the World Cup done and dusted. Fiji Water has donated $15,000 to recover costs incurred during the team's World Cup campaign.
Fiji Water is very proud to be part of what Fiji Rugby is doing, because we deeply believe that this is one sport that really binds the grassroots and the whole community in Fiji.
Today's contribution towards the campaign is much appreciated. It's indeed the timing of it is ideal, because as we bring the campaign to an end, as Mr. McKee has been saying in the past few days, that's the campaign for the next World Cup starts now.
Now it's early days still for the Vodafone Fiji 7 side, preparing for the opening leg of the World 7 Series season in December. But Coach Ben Ryan has been running the current training squad ragged in the off-season, leaving no stones unturned for what will be an important campaign. Chalen Daudakdaka has more.
Ben Ryan and Fiji Sevens players Osea Kolinisau and Emosi Mulewaro have taken up their role as Fiji international ambassadors at Natandola Bay Championship course in Singotoka. But their focus is set on defending the World Series crown in the new season and building up towards the Rio Olympics.
This week and last week we'll introduce some hard fitness sessions. We'll be on the sand dunes again on Friday morning with the girls team as well. Next week some of the boys will go off and play for their clubs in the Central Coast Sevens in Sydney, so will Fijiana. And then after that we're back in camp again in preparation.
Ryan has roped in some fresh talent to add to his strong core group of players from last season.
I've been bringing in players from that have impressed us over the last 12 months, and we'll continue to do that all year. And obviously the majority of the boys that were in the World Series winning side are still on the island. Only Samasoni Viriviri and Semi Kunatani that are not here. So means that we know we've got another good strong base to choose from.
The first leg of the new World 7 Series season will be held in Dubai on December 3rd and 4th. Thailand Odakavaka, FBC Sports.
Fijian professional golfer Vijay Singh is encouraging Fijians to participate in the annual Fiji International Golf Championship at the Natandola Bay Golf Course. Back for a second year of competition, Singh hopes to finish number 1 this year. Josephine Avula has more.
Making his way to the main venue for the competition, international golfer Vijay Singh clearly shows that he is no stranger to his home country.
This year I'm a little bit more used to it, and I know what to expect. I look forward to playing. I mean, this year I want to play and I want to win. So I'm more focused into playing my game and trying to, play to win. So.
The big Fijian believes the sport is becoming successful in the country and is overwhelmed at the number of Fijians participating this year.
Even if they're not able to play really good, at least they are in the field. And that's going to give a little bit more chance for other players to try a little harder and get into the tournament. So I'd like to see about 10, locals playing in it. And it's just 6 to start. I mean, it was 4 the first time, 6 now, maybe more next year. So.
Just like any other sport, Singh believes that staying fit is the key in remaining consistent in golf.
So, for me, if I don't go to the gym, I'm as old as I am. I mean, I feel really stiff, and I have to keep doing it.
7 local players will be among the 132 competitors that will compete at the Fiji International, which begins this Thursday. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
Australia is geared up for its Rugby World Cup quarter-final clash against Scotland next week. Having finished in top spot from the pool of death, the Wallabies believe they have had the perfect build-up for the march towards hosting the Webb Ellis Trophy. The Wallabies will take on Scotland at 3 a.m. next Monday. Before that, Ireland face Argentina at 12 a.m. And in other quarter-final matches, South Africa take on Wales at 3 a.m. on Sunday, and the All Blacks face France at 7 a.m. And of course, you can watch all those matches live on FBC TV. That's it from Sports Tonight. Good evening.
The Standing Committee on Justice, Law and Human Rights today heard submissions from the Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation and the Mining and Quarry Council regarding the Income Tax Bill 2015. Mining and Quarry Council Chairman Greg Morris submitted a paper with 10 brief points pertaining to Part 6 of the bill dealing with mining. There were concerns regarding the rehabilitation of mine sites, tax rates, ring fencing of mining operations, as well as exploration, just to name a few. They also spoke at length about direct and indirect disposals of mining rights, as well as investment allowances.
The Mining and Quarry Council would like also expenditure incurred around exploration around an existing mine operation should also be allowed to be included in the operating mine. That's how a company grows its resources and looks to continue the viability of an existing mining operation.
While brief showers was experienced over the eastern and northern parts of Fiji, cloudy and windy conditions prevailed over the rest of Fiji. A trough of low pressure with associated cloud and rain lies over Tuvalu and extends southeastwards over central Tonga and onto southern Cook Islands. Meanwhile, a broad east to southeast wind flow prevails over the southwest Pacific Islands. Salva recorded the lowest temperature for the day, hitting 24 degrees on the chart. Suva recorded 25 degrees, and all other centres recorded a high of 29 degrees. Tomorrow is cloudy with some showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. Elsewhere, cloudy periods with afternoon or evening showers, moderate to fresh southeast winds, strong and gusty at times. At sea, rough to very rough through the passages. And the further outlook for Thursday is occasional showers over most places. Recapping the main stories tonight, another Fiji First Member of Parliament resigns. Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama puts contractors on notice as he opens new $13.9 million Raki Bridge, and Fiji Ports Corporation pays over $3 million dividend to government. Now to our poll segment for this week, we're asking, should we keep John McKee until the 2019 Rugby World Cup? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply #FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Bye for now.